Welcome everyone to another session of the Mastermind Book Club. Today we're reviewing part 2 of Homo Deus by the author Yuval Noah Harari. Yuval Noah Harari wrote Homo Deus, A Brief History of Tomorrow. Very powerful audio, very powerful book. We highly recommend it. In order to give you a brief summary / review, we're going to start off with Charles. Charles Comer, ready?
Yes, good evening, everyone. In the book by Homo Deus, it gives the reader a warning into the future where there may be times where our own ideologies, our own search for a better way may make us kind of extinct. Even though automation is definitely good and progress in technology is definitely to be expected in the growth of us as for our human potential, it could run amok. And the book gives us a warning in this instance. I highly recommend the book to be read and for you to see for yourself if we will be our own destruction. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Really appreciate that. And that's true. Will we be our own destruction to ourselves? Reggie.
Good evening, everyone. Reggie from the Mastermind Book Club. When the car replaced the horse, we didn't upgrade them, we replaced them. Perhaps it's time to do the same thing with Homo sapiens. Wow, that was a quote from the book, Homo Deus. And that's pretty profound, but it's scary depending on how you look at it. Or as I kind of mentioned, and even in the last recording, it's time for us to basically, and maybe I said something along these lines, but basically to be on top of our game, because we don't want to be a part of what we'll term it replacement theory, although it doesn't specifically align with this, but if you think it kind of does, replacement theory, in that machines and data and these types of things will replace humans and make them obsolete. But again, we don't have to be of that particular viewpoint if we focus on ourselves and continue to mold ourselves and grow, because ultimately we are the ones who are controlling the data and the machines. So how is it that those things could be greater than us, right? And there's a term used in the book, godlike, I think, with the AI, like on some of these processes. So let's just get on top of our game so we stay ahead of everything, and so that we're not made obsolete.
Thank you, Reggie. Staying ahead of our game so that we're not obsolete is very true. Gina, are you ready to give us your brief review or summary?
Yes, last week I mentioned that this book was an absolute roller coaster, especially the first part of the book. The second half, pretty much the same. A roller coaster for me. And I thought that the book kind of like painted a bleak view of what the future will present for mankind. And it doesn't seem like, we can bypass that. And just like how we got rid of certain animals and different species over time, it looks like eventually computers might do the same thing to us, because everything is operated by algorithms. We learn how to view things in our lives. We look at the stars and the universe and how things operate, the plants and so forth and so on. Everything follows the patterns, algorithms. And all of this is being fed into machines. When we go online, and someone mentioned about watching those little cat videos, it's looking at a reaction. The computer is gathering all this information for free while we're online. And so eventually these computers are, predictable, or it's predicted that they might outdo us human beings and get rid of us altogether, because they'll be able to handle those algorithms much better, much smarter than we can as human beings.
Thank you, Gina. And that's true. Algorithms, very important word in reference to the book Homo Deus. Yuval Noah Harari has a 2-hour daily meditation in order to come up with his specific views on what he presents in this book. Is it completely negative? It could be. It could be portrayed as a completely negative book. It could be portrayed also as the next level, just like Reggie was stating, Homo Deus, meaning human being, the godlike figure. We could be portrayed in that way, but what's going to replace us? How are we going to be replaced? Or is there a way that we're going to advance? This book, to summarize it in 2 words, I'd say number 1 is algorithms, and the other word is, well, phrase is, what are you doing now to improve on whatever it is that you're utilizing to make income, to create better health habits for yourself, to add to this world so that something is left behind. Meaning, most things, most people are not leaving anything behind. Most people are just here, are just taking up space. Are you one of those? This is the Mastermind Book Club.
Sorry.
Yes, go
Dave,
ahead, Gina.
I wanted to mention that there were a couple of things that he had mentioned about our search. Usually as human beings, we go in search for longevity, and also we're always in search of happiness. And so we'll just continue to do that more so as we progress throughout life.
Yes, and that search is imminent, in that people want to have longevity, and that's in that process of algorithms. But also be aware, everything is being tracked. Everything is being tracked in an algorithm. If you go to the doctor and you tell them that you have a cold, they're tracking it. If you tell them you have asthma, they're tracking it. If you tell them you have cancer, guess again, they're tracking it, and they know what to do next, how long it will be before you get to stage 1, stage 4 cancer, and so on. They know. And if they give you this pill, they know what's going to happen. Is it part of an algorithm? Yes, it's part of an algorithm. It's part of a strategy. It's part of a business plan. Can you imagine having one car when you're born and that car lasts the rest of your life? That's not a business. It won't make money for everyone else. It'll only be worthy for you. So that's not going to happen. Everything's short-lived and fleeting. So are we. So this is the Mastermind Book Club. Yes. Go ahead, Reg.
No, I was gonna say, even to that point, you said a car that lasts your whole life. But think about some of these things as people. The car that lasts longer is analogous to the person in some sense, even though you can't completely control how long you're gonna live. But any of these things that we have, they're all energy, and the way you take care of them, the person who has that ability to take care of that thing a little bit better can make that thing last longer. So the same car that one person destroys in 5 years, somebody else keeps that car for 40 years. So you have to think of that and extrapolate that out, or pull it out to you know how you do everything in life, and making it such that all those things you do will be similar across all things, so that all the things that you have, because you treat them with the respect and give them the right energy, because they are energy, and then they will give you back the right energy in return, give you as much life as you give them.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Well, I might as well add a 2 cent in it too, since everyone else did. If you focus on what you said, longevity and pleasure, you have to also remember that this technology, it doesn't need longevity. It's already existing to a certain point that outlasts us. It doesn't need pleasure. So these are some of the things that we have to really consider. You know, do we focus more on being more efficient as people, or do we continue to let the technology do it for us?
That's right. Now you can take it, you the listener, that this book is highly recommended because everyone was willing to say something more, because there's a lot of information in here, a lot of pertinent information. Some of it can be seen as negative, but it's very, very useful in seeing what Homo Deus means to you personally. This is the Mastermind Book Club signing off on another session of a very powerful book. Stay tuned for next week as we'll review another book. In the meantime, take care.
Just when I get